What's up, peeps? So, are you still on the fence about buying the new Modern Warfare 2 and you really don't know if you should? Well, this is my honest review where I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly truth. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into the video. So let's start off with the good, and that is going to be the campaign. I mean, oh my god, the campaign is amazing. It's like a movie. It's one of the best Call of Duty campaigns I played. Reason number one is that the graphics are amazing. I mean, from the first mission where it's a cinematic clip that transforms into the gameplay, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Also, the cinematic clips are also really cool, and you also feel like you're in the movie. And just the whole aspect of them bringing all the operators back from different Modern Warfares and also have a hint of the past, which redirects you in that final mission, is really, really cool. I mean, you're playing with all these people and you know where they came from, you know where the stories are, and just the gunplay, the graphics, all that just feels amazing. So I think everything combined makes it an amazing campaign experience. So if you are definitely wondering about the campaign and should you just buy it for the campaign, I wouldn't say it's worth $70 because I did pass the campaign in about 6 hours, but something pretty cool about the campaign that they just started doing was they're going to add DLC because like I mentioned at the end, there is kind of like a little cliffhanger that we'll get to see more in the future. So that's actually pretty interesting, and let's see how they'll add that DLC into the story. But again, as part of the package, I would say the campaign is definitely 100% worth playing for. Now, I'm not one of those brave soldiers that played in Veteran, but as y'all know, Veteran was definitely super hard to complete, sorry, from the missions that I was watching. Now, the kind of missions that you get is you get all the kinds of missions, right? I mean, you get missions that you're in the water, as the ones you can see right now. You get in the desert, you can be in the AC-130, you get driving ones, you get stealth ones, you get full-on action. You get a little bit of everything for whatever the kind of mission that you run. So that is the best for that. But now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the ugly truth of this game, and that's definitely going to be in the multiplayer side of things. I mean, obviously, campaign is important for some players, but multiplayer is the core of this game, right? Because that's the longevity of this game. This is what you continue playing after you finish the campaign. And the only reason why the multiplayer is good is because of the reasons that I mentioned in the campaign, right? The graphics are amazing. The gunplay feels amazing. I mean, the way the guns reload, shoot, everything just feels so good. I mean, you look at this game, you're like, damn, this game is beautiful, and it was well made in the gameplay sort of things. I do think they messed up the footsteps again, which they might have been a little bit too loud before right in the beta, but I prefer a million times for them to be loud than what they are right now. I think they're really low again. Sometimes you really know where they're coming from, so hopefully they return that or at least raise it a little bit. But let's go to the main issues, which had to do with the crashing. Now, I don't know if you guys happen to obviously at the beginning, right, when it's day number one, we all had some sort of issues like server queues and all that sort of stuff, or there was this issue about installing, and it just beyond installing, you have to like reinstall the whole game, blah, blah, blah. So we all understand those issues. Obviously, the installing one shouldn't be there, right? I mean, for me, my game just didn't even let me play. I had to reinstall it. But moving on for that, the UI and the party mechanics are awful in this game. Now, I'm somebody that plays a lot with my friends, right? With the people that want to play with me, I'm always playing in parties. And maybe you're a solo person, but a lot of people like to play with their friends, and it is horrible for that. I mean, you got one person in your party, all right, you know, that's good. The game can manage it. It's all good. But goddamn, you start adding 3-4 people. Oh my god, it's like if you're playing on a PlayStation 2 and you're trying to run the new Warzone 2.0 with 200 people in there or something like that, because it just starts crashing, glitching, freezing. It kicks your friends out. We kept having this issue where I had 3 friends. One friend with the 4th friend would join and it would crash somebody else, and then that friend that got crashed would join back in and it would crash the person the person that had just joined. It was like an ongoing cycle. I mean, it must have been like within the 3-4 hours that we were playing, all of us combined might have crashed a total of 30 times, and 30 times is not even a joke. I mean, that's how much time we crashed, and it's not with everybody. Sometimes I didn't get to crash with everybody. It was just certain people, but again, just do be aware it's there, and the crashing is really bad. And then not to mention again, the general UI is horrible. You get a lot of overlapping things that shouldn't be there, and the barracks apparently don't work, right? You can't check your KD and shit like that, so that's kind of weird. But obviously, a lot of people, you know, don't like to check their KD, but one of the main things that people like doing, that people are doing right now, is grinding camos. And most of the camos are good. And one of the good things I'd have to say about the camos is they made it a lot easier, right? There's only 4 camos that you need to grind, and then you unlock gold. Well, you need to grind 4 of them, and then you do the 5th one to unlock gold. And the camos aren't really that hard for the SMGs and ARs and stuff like that. It's pretty easy. And I think that's a good thing. I think when they made it way too hard, it kind of like not that many people want to grind them. So I think that's a good thing. But the sniper ones, sometimes that's where you get mad. I mean, that's where your rage comes out. With the sniper ones, you got to get hip fire kills, and that's just stupid. I mean, you just got to sit in a corner, grab a stun, wait for somebody to pass you, throw a stun to them, you go running up to them, and then you hip fire them, because besides that, it's impossible. So that one's hard. And then there's some other ones, like for example, I was doing the SPR, and there's mounted kills, right? Not that hard. Mounted kills, I mean, you just gotta camp somewhere, aim, and then when you get the kills, but you have to do 10 kills. But I had to play that 4 times. I had to play full 4 matches and get about 50 kills, because out of the 10 kills I would get, only 1 would count. And I was so frustrated. I was like, oh my God, bro. I had to play 4 games just mounted on one single thing to get 2 kills per game, because the other ones weren't counting. And I tried everything. I tried using a deployable cover, standing longer. It was just weird. It was just not tracking. Not to mention that I don't know how it's 2022 and it's their, what Call of Duty? It might be like their 16th Call of Duty that they released, but camos are a really important thing in the game. I mean, really important. A lot of people like the camos. What does the gold one look like? What does the mastery camo look like? And you still can't check your camo progression in the game. I mean, you can change your attachments in the game. You can see the level of your gun in the game. Wouldn't you think that you'd be able to check? And I think it's super important, because some of the things are like, you have to get, let's say you have to get this level to level 15 to unlock the challenge. So obviously you see you got the gun to level 15 and then you quit because you don't know what the challenge is. So you're going to quit and you back out of that game, and then you see the challenge. Or in the game, you don't know how many completed you have. And it's also, wow, whenever you complete a challenge, it is so bad. I mean, a lot of people don't even realize when you get it, but there's like a little trophy that pops up on the top of your screen that you can barely see it. It doesn't say anything, nothing comes up. And obviously if you're in the middle of a gunfight, well, you don't really see it. So knowing when you got the camo is impossible, and you can't see it when you're playing in the game. So I think those 2 things are a big issue. Now, another one which I would say is the ugly, and that's one of the hardest reasons why sometimes playing this game is so frustrating, is the maps. I think the maps are horrible, and I don't think the idea of the maps or that is horrible. I remember they mentioned when they were first talking about Modern Warfare 2, they were like, our main mission with this is to make the 6v6 map smaller so that you can be in constant action. But that's not really what it is. I mean, there are some maps that are just so big, like the Mexican one where you got a bunch of cars in the middle. That's just so long. Also, the one that has the house in the middle has a bunch of green around it. I mean, the maps are so big, especially for 6v6. And if you're in 6v6, you know, they can be kind of good, but you get into a game where there's two people missing and you got 4 people in this big giant map. You're like, oh my God, like, what am I playing? I'm playing hide and seek. And that happened more often than not. I mean, out of 10 games, I would say 3 games, you could probably get a lot of kills. The other 8 to 7 games are just super boring games. You're wondering where the people are at. You don't know where they're at. And it's so boring. And there's only a few maps that have a lot of action, like the one I'm playing right now, and the one that was in the beta as well, as one of the ones that you could get a lot of kills in it. So the maps, maybe they don't need reworking, but what I would say is they definitely need to add at least like 8 players. So it needs to be 8v8, or at least if there's one player that went missing or something like that, there's still 7 or 6 players. But they definitely need to add that, because 6v6 of these maps is really, really bad. And then, like I said, especially if you get in those maps when one of them or 2 of them just don't join or quit, it is horrible. Not to mention, I loved Ground War and Modern Warfare in the first Modern Warfare. And the reason why I also love Ground War, because that was the basis of Verdansk. Different parts of Verdansk was what made Ground War. And I'm pretty sure they're going to do the same thing here. Different parts of Ground War maps is what's going to make the big Warzone 2.0 map. And I loved Modern Warfare 1 because I love Verdansk. But goddamn, these Ground War maps are horrible, man. I mean, horrible. And the main reasons is because I think they're trying to be too much like Battlefield, where every single roof you can get on and every single window you can get on. And when you're not playing a game like Battlefield, it is so annoying. I mean, you can get shot from every single building and every single window, and it is so so annoying. Not to mention as well that some of the flags are super far away. Like you got some flags that are in the middle of the map, and then you got some of the other flags that are just like super far away from each other, and it just makes it hard to push. But the tanks are also super annoying. I mean, they are just overpowered, especially with the high TTK. You die in like 2 shots, which just makes the tanks super annoying. But yeah, overall, I used to love ground war, but this super fast TTK does not go with ground war. I mean, when you die, that's also one of the other issues. I think the TTK is super fast. And if people say, oh my God, it's not fast, ladies and gentlemen, the first pistol that you unlock kills in 2 shots, and that not even to the head. Whether you hit him in the chest 2 shots, that's two shots with a pistol. What the fudge are we playing? That's hardcore. That's hardcore TTK right there. So when you got a game that just kills super fast and you're playing something like this, get ground war, it's not fun at all. I memean, they really need to fix their maps, or they need to do something about it. Maybe increasing the TTK just a little bit will help it, because right now also I feel like I'm going to talk about the movement as well. A lot of people want to know. I was getting used to the movement without slide canceling, but now that they took the bunny hopping way, I mean, there is 0 movement that you can do in this game besides running straight forward and jumping around the corner. Those are the only 2 things that exist. That's it. And that really just causes a lot more people to be pre-aiming and just to be holding an angle and not moving and camping. That's really what it is. And I really don't like it. I mean, I have seen in so many campers in this game compared to the other one. And forget forget recontesting somebody. If you get shot once, that's it. That's it. Don't even think about recontesting that. You are not going to win. Unlike Warzone, where you could recontest people, stim, and pull out some moves and make it miss. That's not going to happen here. Just forget about it. Forget about it, guys. If you guys are shot once, you cannot recontest in this game. Obviously, again, I'm talking if you're playing against somebody that knows how to play the game. So I think I've rambled on a little bit about the things that I love and I hate. And as you guys can see, my final thoughts are, the core game is amazing. The way the guns feel, the mechanics, the graphics, all that is amazing. But the decisions that they made with the maps, the issues with the crashing, the TTK, all that needs some serious fixing. So at the end, should you buy this game? I'm gonna say yes, with hope that they fix it and that they change some things in the future, and I think they will. And if you like a little bit more of a tactical game, slower paced, realistic shooter, but still with the Call of Duty vibes, then I would say yes, buy it. If you really want to go for those old Call of Duty school, this really does not feel like that, to be honest. So maybe what I would say is wait for Warzone 2.0, so you can download Warzone 2.0, experience how you feel the movement, and maybe if you like that, then yeah, go ahead and give the chance and play the multiplayer. But ladies and gentlemen, that was it for me. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the new game from what you've seen, and I'll see you all in the next one.